And good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of Deathmatch Russell Podcast. It's Sunday night, and we're going to talk to newly inducted Hall of Famer to the CZW Hall of Fame, the one and only Larry Legend. We're going to talk about his induction and much, much more. Stay tuned, fans. Let's have a great night. It's podcast night at the Deathmatch Russell. Let's talk wrestling and much, much more. Stay tuned. Good evening, Larry Legend.
Good evening to you, David Russell.
How are you tonight? It's Sunday night. What's going on in your Sunday night action? What are you up to?
Well, not a lot, David. I will be 100% honest with you. I just got off of my job.
Yes.
In addition to being a CZW Hall of Famer and
yes,
legend behind the microphone, I also have a 9-to-5 job.
I know you do.
That I work. So I just got off, and I'm feeling pretty good tonight.
Did you stop by? I know I stopped by, and I got my cold beverage from one of our favorite places, Starbucks, as always.
Well, I got a grande coffee last night. I don't remember which brew it was.
Right.
But it was a grande coffee, and I topped that off with a little half and 6 Splenda.
Okay, nice, nice.
Splenda is one of my vices.
You know what I'm digging? I'm digging that blonde shot that they got to add to my.
Yeah, well, blonde, the blonde drink, the blonde brewed coffee that they were serving a few years back was a hit as well.
Yeah.
With me, I'd love going up to the counter and going, "Can I get a tall blonde?"
Yes, yes, I know, and I do that too. And they're like, "Oh,
yeah.
Okay."
Yeah.
No.
I'm enjoying. I had one shot of the blonde espresso a few weeks back, and I did enjoy it as well. But today I didn't get a chance to go into Starbucks. I went to a couple of different coffee shops throughout my travels.
Right.
And I had about 4 or 5 cups in one day.
Oh my God, Larry, that's a lot of coffee for one day. But like you know that you can't truly, you go into those shops, you think, all right, you know what? This isn't my usual. This is, what I mean? This is not what I like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it sometimes can be a little nerve-wracking because, let's face it, coffee is essentially a drug.
You know what? We're gonna switch it up right now, fans. We're just talking coffee talk. How's that?
Yeah, coffee talk on Deathmatch
Russell
Podcast, and that's all right. But
yes, yeah.
It can be kind of nerve-wracking when you're trying to get your fix,
yes,
so to speak.
Yes.
And you don't know the person who's serving it to you, and you don't know the consistency of it. And that's one of the reasons that I'm a big fan of Starbucks, because you really can develop your relationship with your barista
and staff.
They see you when you come in, they know what you want, and they get it ready for you, and then you're off on your merry way.
I know, they're all courtesy to us. They're great people. I love it. Every time I go to my local one, they know who I am, and, get my fix, and hey, it's all good. But, I hate going to a gas station, Larry, and you get that crummy coffee. Oh, my God, it's like just nasty, you know what I mean? Like, you go to like an Exxon or a Quick Check or a Wawa sometimes. It's just, I don't like how they persistently make it,
Yeah, a lot of the times I feel that places like that should just offer the coffee for free.
Yeah.
You bring your own cup. Mm-hmm. The guy behind the line is not really staying on top of it to make sure that it's changed.
Right.
The worst place of all to get them are those rest stops up and down the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yes.
I don't know if they're Sunoco's or whatever those gas stations are.
I know. Go-tos.
A lot of times I'm coming from New York or New Jersey.
Yeah.
Really, really late at night. And some of the Starbucks on the Turnpike, they close down.
I know.
So I have no other choice but to go to a gas station or a Dunkin'
if we have to, Dunkin'.
Yeah, well, there are no Dunkins. There are no Dunkin' Donuts on the Turnpike, So, I'll go to like Molly Pitcher, Rest Stop, or one of those, and your choices are either a Starbucks that might be closed down by the time I get on the road, or the Sunoco. And if it's like after 1 a.m,
I know
that Sunoco coffee is it's sludge.
Yeah,
it's hot, so I like to have something hot, going down my throat.
You know what I do?
The entire ride, to keep me awake, but it ain't Starbucks. And
no, it isn't. And when you go on a road trip, or when you're on the road and you go to a hotel, they got the coffee right there. You know what? I just grab a cup and I just ask for some ice, a little bit of milk. I make do. Sometimes you got to do that too. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good.
It is just like a juicy hot dog.
You said it.
But now back to our topics. Let's get going. So I think you showed me some footage of you were just at a card with, and you were announcing Jerry the King Lawler and somebody else, right?
Yeah, I just did a card on Friday night in Maryland.
Yeah.
The headlining match was James Ellsworth, formerly of the WWE, against WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I actually did not get to announce the King.
Yeah.
The way that things are, sometimes you learn what the deal is going to be as you go along. And Lawler was doing some of his old, I guess you would call it shtick.
Yes.
Where he kind of was the bad guy, and he was commentating through his entire match.
Oh, jeez.
So when his music hit for him to come out, he already had a microphone and was already doing kind of like commentary on his way down to the ring. And he subsequently lost the match to James Ellsworth, so I didn't get a chance to announce Lawler at all.
Who else was on the card that night? Who else was in the house or wrestling?
We had Impact Wrestling World Champion Austin Aries was there.
Oh man, he's always great to see in action, no matter where you see him.
Oh yeah. We also had Ruckus and Primo Robbie Marino.
Oh, the boys. The boys.
Also Hall of Famers.
Yes.
From the class of 2015. They were there in action.
Yeah.
And we also had a rare in-ring appearance by Dwayne Gill, also known as Gilbert.
Oh, the one and only Gilbert. Gilbert. Yes.
He has a lot of legendary roots.
He does.
Here in Maryland. So
it
was a treat.
Does he?
It was a treat to announce him. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
You were just saying in roots and you were saying Gilbert, in Gilbert in that area. You were saying, now explain that a little. You were telling me.
Sure. Well, Gilbert, from the time that he was doing preliminary matches in WWF.
Yes.
Way back in the day, you would always hear Howard Finkel or whoever the announcer announce him as hailing from Baltimore, Maryland.
Right.
And as a kid watching WWF Superstars on Saturday, I would always think, wow, that guy's from Baltimore.
Your hometown.
And he's on my TV.
I know.
So, and it was all legit. Dwayne Gill, for many years, would travel from Baltimore to wherever the WWF was doing their Superstars tapings or Raw tapings, and he would fulfill the role of Dwayne Gill or one of the Executioners, and eventually he got his biggest opportunity to be WWF Light Heavyweight Champion as Gilbert.
Yeah.
So his roots in Maryland are just legendary.
That is so cool. Yeah.
They run very, very deeply, and
he's always around. He gets around though. He's always around. We see him everywhere. He'll be up.
Yeah, he's kind of a local national treasure. I know that makes no sense because a national treasure means a treasure of the nation, but locally, a state treasure, Dwayne Gill was, and it was a pleasure to announce him in 2018 after all these years that he's been doing it.
Who else was in the house? Anybody else, or just the normal? normal card?
Oh, well. No. We also had ECW original Joel Gertner.
Oh, man. Joel.
The quintessential stud
muffin. Haha, love him.
Yeah,
Always love him. He's a great guy.
He was there and he was doing a little managing, and he took the microphone from me and did an intro for his guy.
Yeah.
Which I can't really argue with Joel Gertner. He kind of influenced me.
Yes.
I broke into CZW anyway as the personal announcer for Blackout.
Yeah.
And for many years, Gertner did that for the Dudley Boys.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
To go to CZW at the 2300 Arena, which was the exact same arena that Gertner was in when he was doing the Dudley Boys intros.
Yes.
And, It's all about legacy.
It is.
And it was great to share the microphone in the ring and the spotlight with Mr. Gertner.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of local stars on the show that I hadn't seen or announced for some time.
Yeah,
so,
I know you could. I was going to say you haven't been there in quite a while, have you? It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean Michael's Eighth Avenue.
Yep.
Michael's Eighth Avenue, which is in Glen Burnie.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, was the first place that I ever was a professional announcer.
Yeah.
Way back in 2002. So 15 years ago, I was an announcer at Michael's Eighth Avenue, and I actually had not been back to that venue in many, many years.
Yeah.
And when I was back there,
you got open.
I was it was for a wedding.
Oh,
the last time I was there was for a wedding. It was a real pleasure
to see
to
the
go back to where
and
I
see
started.
some friends and see the friends and fans.
Well, and also David, I mean to go back to where I started.
Yes.
And to think of when I started in 2002 and now in 2018. I'm a Hall of Famer.
Yes, you are.
So it felt really good to go back, not just still doing the same thing, but now with a few accolades.
I know.
To go along with my role in the professional wrestling industry. It felt really good to be back, and I hope I get to go back to Michael's Eighth Avenue soon for ACW or Ring of Honor or CZW or some other company. I can't wait to go back there to announce.
Oh, that would be awesome, Larry. So, that was a big, warm welcome for you for that CZW Hall of Fame ceremony. That was great. Really was well put together by Maven Bentley, and a lot of the other people who helped out,
Yeah, a huge shout-out goes out to DJ High.
Yes, DJ.
The owner of CZW, who contacted me and told me that they were going to bestow this honor on me. So... not just Maven for going out there and actually inducting me.
I know.
But also, DJ High had a big part in making sure that I was promoted.
Yes.
As being there to go into the Hall of Fame, and got me a really nice plaque.
I know.
And
nice shiny plaque.
It felt really good. I think the way you described it as a warm welcome was the best way to put it.
It is, because you know what? You think how many times you've been there, Larry. I mean, hell, you've been there since early days, You were there. I mean... It's great to be, appreciated for what you do, and it's like our buddy, it's like our good friend Kevin Hogan, well-deserved fan for being inducted too, Don't forget that.
And I got to tell you, it felt really good to be going the year after Hogan was inducted, Whack Packer Hogan, Kevin Hogan, last February. It's really quite an accomplishment to be standing alongside Drake Younger and Nick Gage and, Zandig and Lobo and Sick Mondo and Ruckus and Robbie Marino. But, all of those people that I just mentioned are professional wrestlers.
Yes.
Who you can kind of see the makings of Hall of Fame. Yeah. Hogan was just a fan. And I don't mean to diminish his contributions.
He was the wrestling fan. He was the wrestling
fan. He was the fan. He was the fan.
My God. He would be everywhere, Larry. You name it. I told you he went with us to King of the Death, IWA Mid-South, 2008-16. What a year he had. He got to see the best wrestling ever. In his, he's been on a lot of trips from the early days to IWA. My God, it's like he really traveled. He would go. He'd be there. As he would say, be there. He was
right,
there.
And I mean, a feather in his cap posthumously to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. But how about when CM Punk dropped his pipe bomb?
Yes.
We can't forget about that. I mean, this was a fan that was so dedicated to the art and the craft of professional wrestling that someone the level of CM Punk
was his
mentioned his name.
Yeah.
Out of all the people that he had ever interacted with in the wrestling industry,
and actually, Kevin Steen and Chris Hero. Don't forget, they sent a shout out to him too.
And that's a testament to the energy and the positive light that came from Kevin Hogan all of the time.
Yeah.
That all of these guys who have gone on to some level of success. Would mention his name when he passed away. What were you going to say, David?
Do you remember when you first saw him?
Oh, sure. He used to have the rubber chicken.
Yeah.
That's how I identified him as the rubber chicken fan.
We had the hat guy.
He was always choking that chicken.
He really was. He'd choke his chicken. And
I took quite a few pictures with him over the years.
Yeah.
And last year I remember when you and I talked about it, you texted me how sad of a day it was that
my God,
the day that he passed away. It was
horrible. It was really sad. It was tragic.
Yeah.
But what else we got going on, Larry? So that night was awesome that you had, huh?
Yeah, it was really awesome. I have to say the most awesome part of it all was having Ruckus and Chrissy Rivera and Robbie Marino there for the induction. I was a little down.
Yeah.
That the Black G's was not there.
No.
Because he along with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
And Joker,
right,
were all a part of the collective known as the Blackout. That originally brought me to CZW, and originally kind of gave me the name of Larry Legend. So all of that legacy.
I was going to say, how did Larry Legend become Larry Legend's name? That was probably like they gave it to you, right? Friends.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting story, David, and I'll try to be brief.
Sure.
Here, but back in 2000 and I'd say 5, there was an R&B artist that kind of debuted by the name of John Legend.
Yes.
And I was working at the time in New York City.
Yeah.
And where I was working was one of the first places that got John Legend's CD.
Yeah.
To be able to play.
Right.
While business was going on. And I loved John Legend's first CD so much.
Yeah, you're big into the music scene. I know that big time.
Oh, sure, yeah. I do a lot of shows and music every year, but I was so into John Legend that whenever I would go into the shop, I would immediately go to the back, and whatever was playing, I would take it off and I'd put the John Legend CD on. And at the time, I was already announcing, but none of my coworkers knew that that's what I did with my free time. I remember I became so known for putting the John Legend CD on that one day I walked in, and it was a very busy morning, and one of the supervisors was like, "Oh, Larry Legend, here to save the day." Kind of like joking with me. But calling me Larry Legend because I had been known to go into the back and just put the John Legend CD on. So, when he said that, I kind of paused and I was like, wow, Larry Legend really cuts glass.
Yes.
That those two L's and the way that it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
I kind of was like, this guy may be onto something. And it wasn't soon after he kind of named me Larry Legend at my job that I decided that once I became the full-time announcer for CZW, again, I had started just being the announcer of Blackout. But
just remember, and just don't forget that you were part of the Price is Right, and they brought you out and saying the same name, Larry Legend,
Oh, no, I mean, I can never forget that, David.
No.
The origins of what made me legendary were CZW and were the John Legend CD and how big of a fan I was of it, and my coworker who kind of made the joke, "Oh, Larry Legend, here to save the day." And I was like, that really works.
That catches in your it.
When Maven Bentley called me and said, "Hey, our ring announcer is quitting.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to come in and be our announcer. I made the decision to come out in 2300 Arena and announce myself as Larry Legend. And that was the main idea of my speech when I got inducted into the Hall of Fame, is that, you know, anybody can go out and call themselves Mike Awesome or Larry Legend or
Deathmatch Russell
Black Keys or whatever.
Or Deathmatch Russell.
Yeah, right, of course. But if there's no one to embrace,
the name,
you know, what you're calling yourself, whether it be the Bad Boy Joey Janela or the one Leo Rush, if there's not someone there to embrace it and to kind of back you up and be like, hey, man, you are legendary, or hey, man, you are the one, or you are the bad boy, then what's in a name?
You're right.
You know, so I really wanted to thank each and every one of the CZW faithful and each member of Blackout for embracing me, you know, coming out and announcing that I was Larry Legend. And it was through them embracing me calling myself that was able to motivate me to do things like The Price is Right, and announce shows in Madison Square Garden. And, you know, do everything that I've done up until this point. It just took, you know, a few people giving me that vote of confidence that, man, you are legendary, for me to actually believe my own hype.
You know what I was Larry, did you know what you forgot to tell? You forgot to say juicy hot dog. I was going to say you should have announced that. You know that? You totally did not. When you left the curtain.
Well, you know, I feel like that Maven, when he inducted me, had already said it. And, I heard the fans start to chant. Juicy hot dogs.
I know.
Before I even came out.
I know. But you should have said. You know, you should have just jumped on it. I bet you were thinking, "Oh, I better do it." You know. But
well, I mean,
know.
David, I'll tell you this much.
No.
You know, Maven talked a long time.
Yeah, he
did.
He did.
If I could take one thing back from my Hall of Fame induction, I would have told Maven that I want to be out there for a total of 5 minutes. And I want him to do 2. And then I want to do 3. But I didn't get a chance to tell him that, so he talked for a long time. So you're right. There were a lot of things that I wanted to say and address. But at the same time, CZW is about action. That's the first thing that I said when I came out there. I said, I'm not going to take too much time because CZW is about action. And you guys don't want to
problems with that microphone.
To someone talking for a long time. And Maven talked, in my opinion, for a little bit too long before I came out. So even though I wanted to kind of get the juicy hot dogs you know, line out, it was more important about me thanking my family and thanking my extended family at CZW
and fans
and thanking each
friends
one of you fans. And, you know, since you guys had already heard juicy hot dogs, you know, was that amazing? You know, you chanted it, and I didn't have to say that. You'll never go back to that.
But you'll never know when we'll hear that again. You never know, you know?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, David. I'm a CZW Hall of Famer now.
I know.
Which means that I might just pop up in the crowd.
I know.
At Cage of Death or Tournament of Death. And who knows? You never know. Just like how when I did the show with the King, Lawler, this Friday, I had no idea that he was going to do his own announcement. I had no idea, you know, what was going to happen until it happened in a lot of the cases. So you never know. I might be able to come up and do a Juicy Hot Dogs plug at CZW 20th anniversary. You never know.
You never know. Or I know, it would be great. But besides that, what else you got going on? Anything coming up?
Well, you know, David, I actually do have something coming up that I'm actually quite excited about. I will be the special guest ring announcer for Deathmatch 8.
Oh, wow.
Which is a no-ring bar deathmatch that happens in Brooklyn, New York. There's a wrestler by the name of the hipster heartthrob Casanova Valentine.
Yes, he's very popular. I know.
Very popular.
I heard about
him. He does bi-monthly death matches in a bar in Brooklyn. And I'm talking no ring, no barricades, fans just surrounding the action.
I've seen it. I've seen the videos. The Bullies are part of that. Help.
Oh, yeah. They were special guest referees.
Yes.
At one of the last ones that he did. But anyway, you know, he has reached out to me and asked me to be the special guest ring announcer.
Oh, wow.
For an event that's coming up on Wednesday, February the 21st.
Oh, cool.
At Greenpoint, Brooklyn. At a bar called the Tender Trap.
Yeah.
So I'll be attending that and announcing the main event on Wednesday, and then on Saturday the 24th.
Yeah.
I've been asked to be the special guest announcer for the 16th annual Psycho Circus, which is out on Long Island, and that is by the company presented by NYWC, which is the New York Wrestling Connection.
Yeah.
And we'll have a few familiar faces involved in that event, like the Bulldozer Matt Tremont and Stockade and the Notorious Scumbag Devin Moore will be in attendance.
Yeah.
Jeff Cannonball will be involved in that.
The Bully.
And the Boulevard Bullies will be there as well. So it's going to be a good time. So I've got those two events coming up.
Yeah.
And then next month in March, I'll be returning to Madison Square Garden on March 16th for a Muay Thai show.
Very cool.
So I've got a lot of things on my burner.
Man.
And I'm just gonna keep on striving for excellence.
Yes.
And continue to reach out to people like you and do things like this podcast.
Every time you're more than welcome. Keep coming back. It's what I love having you come on because we could cut the breeze and kill it. We always have fun.
Yeah. Well, I was one of your first guests.
I know. Do you believe that? I know.
Yeah. So congratulations to you for sticking with it and
it's going strong.
More of these, and
I know.
I hope that you continue to go on to the point that one day you're standing in the Hall of Fame, David. And,
yes.
All you've got to do is be dedicated.
You got to be,
and you can get up there. You can get up there just by being dedicated.
So what? So you want to find out where Russell's been, or where he's going to be, or what he's been up to? Boy.
Oh sure. Why don't you go ahead and plug?
My God, Larry. Boy, was it yesterday?
Yeah, let's hear what you're doing next.
Well, I'm heading down to the Rawway Rec Center this Saturday night. JAPW Redemption. I'm making my return with my father's coming this time around. My God.
Oh, wow.
My God, that's a stacked card, and I'm looking forward to that. Seeing my old friends and catching up, my front row friends, and it's going to be a great night wrestling,
Yeah, I would actually be in attendance for that, David, but unfortunately, I'm only one legend.
I know.
And NYWC,
yeah,
they secured me before JAPW did.
Yeah.
But you'll be in good hands because I believe my brother, Voice of the Ring, David Adams,
yes,
will be the announcer for JAPW Redemption.
Yeah.
So that should be a good time for you.
Yeah.
And please take some pictures ringside.
I will take a lot of pictures.
I'll be at ringside at NYWC grabbing some footage and it's always
fun.
It sucks fun. We can't be together.
No,
we can't be together.
We'll be together one day.
Okay,
one of these days. We always jump in the ring. One of these days,
Yeah, we'll be on opposite sides of the island.
I know.
Enjoying professional wrestling, and that ain't half bad.
No, and then what else do I got coming up? H2O in April. I got a lot of stuff lined up. Boy, I just got everything going. Saving up.
Yeah, David. I know you make your rounds, and half the time that I make my rounds, I see you in the crowd.
I know. TOD. I might go to.
Agree to come onto your podcast and
TOD. You might see me at TOD. You might see me in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago. I might go to Chicago for GCW this year. I don't know. I'm thinking of it. May.
Well, who knows, David? We might be there together, my friend.
Eat a Chicago pizza, right? Deep fried.
For that deep dish.
That's it. Yeah, but no, this past Saturday night, this Friday night, my God, Larry, this past Friday night, what a night. What a night of action it was to see at the GCW Jimmy Lloyd birthday bash,
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the footage there. What a rare appearance by Jack Evans.
Yes.
Who does not,
not
really show up, at shows like GCW. I was glad to see him back and in action.
Yeah.
And as far as GCW goes, you may see me there.
Yeah.
Before long as well.
Mm-hmm. I know. There's lots going on,
Yeah.
We just got to keep it going. Wrestling, my friend,
Yep. Well, David, let me go ahead and plug my social media
absolutely,
here.
Larry.
Yep, you guys can follow me on Twitter. I have a couple different accounts. The main one is Larry Legend, which is at B as in boy, L as in Larry, K as in Kevin, L as in Larry, K as in Kevin, P as in Patrick. That's BLKLKP. That's my main Twitter. And then I've got another one that's called Pazuzu Zone. Because as you know, David, I once rolled with another crew called the team Pazuzu.
I know.
So I have a Twitter that is dedicated specifically to my dark-sided activities.
Yes.
With the team Pazuzu, and that Twitter is LARRYL3G3ND3. So it's Larry Legend, but you change all the E's to threes and put one more three at the end of Legend for 3 threes. That's magic. And that's my alternate Twitter. And then you can also find me on Instagram under LARRY_L3G3ND3. Larry Legend on Instagram. And on Snapchat, it's the same as my Twitter. That's BLKLKP. So follow me on there. And David, you know better than anyone, whenever I'm ringside for an exciting event, I'm probably sending you some exclusive footage on Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter.
That's right, fans.
You know, and that's what I was encouraging you to do when you're at JPW this weekend. I'd love to see some footage.
You got that
from your front row seat, my friend.
You know it. I will do that, Larry. And it was great talking with you, Larry. And
it's always great talking to you.
We'll do another one. We'll do another one down the line. We'll figure.
We'll have to do the third time. Will be magical.
Magical. Yes. Let's
give a
hashtag.
Up soon.
Larry, how about a hashtag for tonight? Let's make a word up or put something out for Twitter. Hashtag something. Let's think of something.
I mean, let's see, a hashtag for Larry Legend.
Larry Legend. Hashtag coffee. Hashtag.
No. Oh. How about David? We do hashtag instead of legendary.
Yeah.
We do hashtag Legend Larry.
Legend Larry. Hashtag Legend Larry.
Yep. So it's just the word legend, but instead of legendary, we do Legend Larry.
All right, we got that. And how about what about Deathmatch Russell? Hashtag.
Yeah. Well, we got a hashtag Deathmatch Russell podcast because that's where we're beaming this out to. So that goes without saying. But if we're going to create a hashtag together, let's create the hashtag Legend Larry.
Legend Larry.
When you promote this on Twitter,
yes,
just do hashtag Legend Larry, all one word, no spaces, and you know me, I'll support you and retweet it so everyone can get the good word.
All right, Larry, thank you for being on the Deathmatch Russell podcast, and you have a wonderful night, my friend.
Not a problem, David, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Good night, Larry.
Good night, David.
I want to thank my guest, Larry Legend, CZW Hall of Famer, Larry Legend, for being on tonight. The Deathmatch Russell podcast. You know where you can always catch me for all your Deathmatch Russell podcasts. Always on my Facebook at David C. Russell. And on Twitter at DavidNJ32. My website, deathmatchrussellpodcast.com. For past interviews, current interviews, t-shirts, much, much more. Video highlights, promos. You'll never know who will be on my show. Stay tuned, fans. And thank you for listening to the Deathmatch Russell podcast, and have a good night.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war, you can talk the guy, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks, you can beat be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. Cause you matter with the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records you thought never could be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Never gonna know if you never even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. Cause you matter with the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion. Walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, preachers. Yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Cause you matter with the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Be a champion, you can be the best. You can be a champion, know your trust. You can be a champion, you can be the world. You can be a champion, you know love. You can be a champion, you can be the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a champion, know love.